Hey guys, my name is Lilly and today I would like to report some news from Austria, and this time I want to start with some very sad news. So unfortunately, as you've heard, we had a pretty bad school shooting in Austria, in Graz. It was a very horrific shooting incident where a mentally troubled young man went into a school and shot some of the students there. Unfortunately, a lot of them died. So usually in Austria, shootings are very rare and school shootings are even more rare. So that's something new which has swapped over from other countries maybe. So unfortunately the attacker got the gun, the pistol, legally. So that's a huge problem. He also passed somehow the psychological test, which he shouldn't have, because actually a couple of months before that he actually failed a psycho test with the military. Also, some of his colleagues at the range described him as very empathyless. So maybe he was a psychopath, I don't know. But apparently he tricked his way through the psycho test to get a pistol. And that shouldn't happen, of course. You don't want to give guns to lunatics. But this is what happened. So now the Austrian politicians have now tightened the gun law in Austria. So what's going to change? First of all, they criticized the minimum age to obtain a pistol. So in Austria you can get a Glock with 21, but now they want to raise the age to 25. But still you can get shotguns and rifles, hunting rifles with 18 in Austria, and for that you don't need a psycho test. The problem is we have a lot of young hunters who are 18 who will never commit a crime. Also, we have police officers and people who work with the military, and they have to carry a weapon with 18. So there has to be some kind of exception for those personnel, right? Then also, it should not have happened that he passed this psycho test even though he failed the military psycho test. So now they want to have a better connection between those tests, and that there's data swapped so you can see if this person already was in trouble psychologically. Also now they want to make a new law that if you're purchasing a new gun, for example, instead of just waiting 3 days, you have to now wait 4 weeks. Yeah, so this is what they have done now, how they reacted to the incident. So yeah, very tragic case, and some people were reacting to that saying, yeah, it's tragic, but still a lot of people have guns, they don't commit crimes, they just have them for self-defense. And you have to be a little bit careful in just making all of the gun possession illegal, because otherwise the good citizens cannot defend themselves as well. Also next, I want to report on the healthcare system failing again. So here we have a woman, elderly lady. She has 2 vertebral fractures, but her surgery was postponed 5 times already. So now she can only walk very short distances with a walker, otherwise she uses a wheelchair. So this is what you get in Austria. You pay taxes into the system your whole entire life, and yeah, then you don't even get a surgery. Here again another case that our healthcare system is failing. This is about a woman who also has problems with her disc. She needs surgery, but she would only get it in 60 weeks. 60 weeks of pain, guys. It's unbearable to have this much pain. So she said, I have the money, I'm going to pay for a private surgery, which cost her 5,600 euros. I paid into the system for many years. I didn't get anything back from the Austrian healthcare insurance fund, says the 46-year-old. She could only afford this because she was working for a bank. She has a really good income. Then we also have a really strange phenomenon going on in Austria. So now, because of the inflation and people saving money, sometimes there are shopping carts found where the side of it was cut out because people want to use the side as a grill for barbecuing. And this is when they damage the shopping carts. So yeah, besides this being a crime, I don't think this is a good idea to use this as a barbecue grill, because actually the material that the shopping cart is made from is, I believe, galvanized, and that can release toxic chemicals into your food. So that's a really, really bad idea. But some people don't know about it and they just do it. Again, they have made cigarettes even more expensive. Next month they will be 10 cents more expensive again, after already 30 cents rise in spring. In Germany, they have big troubles with the debt. So now they already have almost 850 billion euros in new debt. Wow, that's only the new debt. Oh my God. In total, they have 1,715 billion of debt. The current coalition government plans to add another 50% to that within 5 years. That's crazy. Who is going to pay back this debt? I don't think it's possible to pay this back. Okay, so now in Germany they also have another problem with the taxes. So now they are saying that they have a tax shortfall. And that's because of the bad economy, right? So if you have a company right now, I'm talking to people, they have like only 40% of revenue of what they had like 2 years ago. And because of this, they are also paying less taxes, of course. And then the government has less income in taxes. So now they are promising the states in Germany temporary, immediate relief due to tax shortfalls. Also in Austria, we have the same problem with the debts. We have made too many debts. So now we are risking a procedure with the European Union. So now they have tightened the austerity package, and it's even worse than I thought. The multi-billion euro austerity package will impact all segments of the population. For example, family benefits will be frozen, childcare benefits and the child tax credit will also not be adjusted for 2 years. They also will save on the pension of people. Here they are saying there will be later retirement, shortened partial retirement, and no additional income while unemployed. At the same time, we have a price explosion. Here they are saying electricity prices are truly exploding. The inflation rate is now at 3%. And also they are saying that electricity is up, but natural gas, heating oil, solid fuels and motor fuels are actually down. So I have to say that I'm really glad that I stayed with my natural gas heating system for my house and I didn't switch to the heat pump, the electric heat pump. Because, yeah, if everybody switches to electric heat pumps and electric cars, of course, this will increase the price of electricity because there's a higher demand, right? So now I'm really glad that I stayed with my natural gas heating device. Raisins are up to 25%, apples 21%, orange juice 17%, cacao 17%, chocolate 16%, and so on and so forth. Housing costs are rising rapidly. Families are groaning. This category increased in price by 5% year on year. Restaurants and hotels are now 5.6% more expensive. City flights are 14% more expensive. Here there's an article in a German newspaper where they try to normalize autism. So that's really strange. In the past, one would have simply said, oh, she's peculiar. So now they try to normalize autism as if this is something normal. And so many people already had this like 100 years ago, which is complete BS, and we know it, you know. The number of autism diagnoses is rising sharply. That's true. When I was in school, in my whole entire school, I did not know somebody who had this disorder. Nobody had this disorder when I was young. Still, of course, there were some people, but in my vicinity, there were no children with autism because everyone was healthy. Yeah, now they want to push the digital ID system on teachers. One teacher was saying she doesn't want to use the system, but she needs to use the system to give grades to the students. So now they want to force her to use the digital ID Austria, but she doesn't want to, and now she's threatened with dismissal. They might want to kick her out of this job. Also, to access the data about your taxes with the government, pretty soon you will have to use the digital ID Austria, otherwise you cannot access that. So they are basically forcing us to use the system. And of course they want to force us to use this digital identity now because they have planned more for us. They have planned a digital currency which is going to be introduced fall this year. And for that you need a digital identity, of course. And then you will get a digital wallet. And then maybe you make a wrong comment on Facebook and they say you didn't behave correctly, so now we are going to freeze your digital wallet for a month and you cannot make any payments, right? So that's basically the same what happened in China, and there are many videos about that you can watch on TikTok, where you cannot live without the smartphone anymore and where you have to use those systems and where you have to behave. Otherwise, living will be very hard in China. Alright guys, so this is what's going on in Germany and Austria. It doesn't look too great, I have to say, and honestly I don't know when it's going to change to the better. Until then, if you want to get more news like this, please support my channel, because actually YouTube has basically shadow banned my videos, and the best way to do that is actually by purchasing products over my Amazon links. So for example, here I have a really awesome fire steel. This one is made in Austria and it's sold on Amazon.com. So I will put the link to this really great fire steel into the description below. And with every purchase, doesn't cost you any more, I will get a small commission, and then I can keep these videos rolling. So if you can, just click on any of my links. You will find this fire steel in the description, and if you do that, this is the best way to support my channel. So if you want to support my channel and get this awesome fire steel, then just follow the link in the description below. Thank you for watching guys, and stay tuned till next time.